Hail Rogers, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. What an amazing wildcard weekend. Of course, let's start with the Packers. Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback in the NFL. How many times does that have to be repeated before certain people get the message? I mean, look what he did after the sluggish first quarter half. He picks it up, chucks touchdown after touchdown after touchdown, and even had a third clutch Hail Mary. Of course, this one ended the half, not the game, but still, a third clutch Hail Mary. 3 Hail Mary touchdowns in 13 months. Now let's put something in perspective here. Most quarterbacks, no matter how good they are lucky enough to get 1, maybe, in their career. Rodgers, in a 13-month span, has 3. And as Chris Berman, the legendary Chris Berman, often says, 1 is an accident, 2 is a trend, 3 is evidence. What more evidence do the experts need to prove that Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback in the business? Those don't lie. On to the other half of this Packers-Giants storyline. Of course, I have to talk about the other side and the Giants. Well, Odell Beckham's Miami trip being a factor. Now, normally I'm not a big fan of. I hate excuses, though. To me, excuses are statements with absolutely zero factual bearing. The Miami trip is very real, and a lot of people are saying, well, if Odell and them hadn't taken that trip to Miami, they would have been so lost. And honestly, I don't think it was that big of a factor, because as some people have also said to disprove that, it was Odell and the receivers, some of the offensive players that took that trip. The DBs didn't go to Miami, so why were they so lost? but yeah, and Odell is one of the long list of players I do feel for a lot, because I always think the refs mess with him. The referees mess with Odell. He gets held and interfered with a lot, and the referees keep their flags in their pockets. The media kind of messes with him. The media kind of messes with him a lot too, mostly for no reason. And he's basically the T.O. of this generation. Shows out, is flashy, but certain people, and I'm trying not to be controversial, certain people don't like it. That's all I'm gonna say about that. However, I do think Odell kind of went way too far with his reaction. We all know about this now. After that press conference, he punched a hole in the wall and butted his head into a door. Wow. Ooh. We did that to him. We broke Odell Beckham Jr. Wow. I can't believe that. All that steel resolve, but it took a bunch of players of green and gold to crack him. But that's enough about that. There's a lot of criticism over this walkover weekend as a whole, as none of the games were close, least of all our game. None of the games were very close. The winning teams won by a combined 76 points. That's 19 points per game. That is the most lopsided wild card weekend since 81. and the most lopsided wild card weekend ever in this current format since 1990, when the playoff format was increased to 12 teams total, meaning two wild card weekend games per conference. The most lopsided since then, and that's been another complaint, because a lot of fans and people in the media expected the other three games: Pittsburgh, Miami, Seattle, Detroit, and Houston, Oakland. They expected those games to not even be close, but they also expected Giants Packers to be nailed by it. I myself thought this was going to be a close game, because these two teams were so evenly matched, and that game turned out to be the most lopsided. The Packers won 38-13. And this was after the Giants were spotted 6 points, and that was another criticism. They got those 2 field goals when they could have easily had 2 touchdowns. So our defense was bailed out quite a bit, but we spotted them 6 points, and we outscored the Giants 38-7 right after that. As a matter of fact, this includes after the 4th down fail led to a Giants touchdown. We shut them out. That touchdown made it 14-13 Packers, and the Packers scored 24 straight points after that. It was a crazy weekend. And with Pittsburgh, this was some borderline controversy, because Big Ben played in the last few minutes of the game, even though it was well over, and now he in the press conference he had a boot on his right ankle, and that's led to some criticism. Why was he playing? But Big Ben says he's gonna play. He's gonna play next week in Kansas City, and of course Brock Osweiler led Houston to victory against Oakland, and of course, there's Seattle. The controversy there is some people were saying, well, Detroit didn't get calls in that game. I often list the Lions as a team that the referees kind of don't like, but that's their own fault, because the Lions commit a lot of penalties. They're one of those penalized teams in the league, so that's on them. So, but there were a couple there were a couple infractions in Seattle that weren't flagged, but honestly, Seattle didn't need the refs to beat them. I mean, Detroit entered the playoff. Detroit literally limped their way into the playoffs. They sputtered their way into the playoffs. They backed in. They lost 3 straight, and it was Washington's loss that got them in the playoffs. So you can pretty much lay out all the excuses you want. The fact is, the Lions pretty much stunk it up for the last 4 weeks. Now they're on a boat of their own. But so yeah, Walker weekend. I actually liked Walker weekend, even though the games were horrendously one-sided. But there was some crazy good moments. There's some crazy good moments. It was a good Walker weekend. I love it. Any playoff weekend is good, regardless of if the games are competitive or not. I do expect some competitiveness in the divisional playoff. That's right. The Elite Eight starts on Saturday. The first game, New England and Houston. That's right. Houston's headed to Foxborough after Pittsburgh won their game. So it's going to be Houston and New England. That's the Saturday. That's Saturday's second game on prime time on CBS. The game that's going to kick off the divisional playoff weekend is Seattle and Atlanta. Of course, Seattle's win earned them a trip to hot Atlanta to face the Falcons, who finished just a hair above the Seahawks for the second spot. That's why the Falcons have the home game. Sunday, divisional playoff Sunday will kick off in Kansas City, Pittsburgh, Kansas City. Remember, Ben says he is going to play, even though he had that boot on. I do expect to see him, and honestly, he better start, because if he doesn't start, I don't like Pittsburgh's chances, especially against a good Chiefs team who A, has a solid quarterback, and B, knows how to take away the ball. They led the league in takeaways this year. And of course, the main event of divisional playoff weekend, Packers Cowboys at Jerry World. That's right. Seattle's win meant that the winner of Giants Packers would be headed to Jerry World, And without sounding very confident, it looks like a no-win situation for Dak Prescott and the Cowboys, because he would either face a Giants team. He had the choice. He had the option of facing either a Giants team he had yet to solve, or a Packers team that's dangerous enough to knock him off. So this is gonna be a highly tested game. The one factor is Jordy. Jordy suffered a rib injury early in the game against the Giants, and he didn't return. And his status is up in the air. At the moment, it's questionable. Mike McCarthy said that Jordy won't practice until Saturday, and after that, it'll determine whether he plays Sunday or not. We're gonna need Jordy. This isn't the Romo Cowboys. This isn't the Romo Cowboys anymore. These are the Prescott Cowboys. They're on all cylinders. Now, I do believe we can win against Dallas in a row. The Packers are a dangerous team. We've won 7 straight, but those have to be thrown out the window. Also, a fact that has to be thrown out the window: Rodgers has won in Jerry World before. Matter of fact, almost 6 years ago, Rodgers won the biggest game of the year that place. But that's 6 years ago, and this is the upcoming Sunday, so all of that has to be tossed aside. And we're gonna need Jordy. And our defense needs to step it up, especially with Ezekiel Elliott running all over everybody. So that's pretty much what has to happen. It should be a very crazy divisional playoff. So with that, that's my review of Wildcard Weekend. Enjoy the rest of the playoffs, and until next week.